Hey folks, see Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to an amazing and very, very interesting live stream. So, generally, every Thursday we have our stocks and news live stream wherein we try and discuss about a lot of stocks. We try and analyze various stocks based on fundamental analysis, based on technical analysis. But last week that we did on our channel was something which I had dreamt of for a long time, and it did happen in the last week. We did have 7 live streams back to back, which was a Teachers Week special. And I'm glad that so many people participated in amazing numbers. We had so many people who did the homeworks, and we also had a Discord meeting just 2-3 days ago, wherein we had the star students of the live streams in the Discord batch as well, right? While I was conducting one of the sessions at that time, I had gotten this feedback. See, they says star student reporting, madam. Fantastic. So in one of the live streams, I had gotten this feedback that Rachana, it does happen that we do a lot of F&O trading. We know some basics. Let's say we have taken either your course or we have read it on our own, but we are not really aware about how the taxation for futures and options happens, right? Many people are absolutely clear on how our salary is taxed, how our capital gain is taxed. Many people are aware about these basics, but when it comes to futures and options taxation, there are a lot of questions in the minds of people. And that's why I thought that rather than me talking about it, why not invite a guest on the channel, a person who has been in this field for many years. And here we are going to invite Mr. Vishvajit, who is the founder of Quico. And without any further ado, let me just quickly invite him on our channel. Hello, Vishvajit. How are you?
Hi Rachna, a big fan. I always was an audience. Today I'm here, so super excited.
Kya baat hai. Very nice. So, Vishwajit, as I mentioned, there were many viewers of my channel who said that we would really want to know more about futures and options taxation. And I thought that let's have an expert on board who can answer all the queries in the most practical way. So, what I had done was during the live stream itself, when I had gotten questions, I've shortlisted few questions for you. So, what I'll do is I'll ask questions one by one, and we'll start answering all these questions one by one again, right?
Rachna, before we get started, can I
Sure.
give good news to everyone?
Sure, why not?
So, if you don't know already, if you've been living under the stone, the due date has been extended. It's not 30th
Absolutely.
September anymore. So don't run helter skelter. You have time. It's been extended to 31st December. That doesn't mean we have to wait till 31st December. We should still be filing on time.
Absolutely, because
Okay.
anytime, whatever is the due date, when how many ever number of times it get extended, we will be doing that on the last days. The general mentality. So I'm glad he has told this important point that even if it is extended, don't just sit back, relax. Uh, think as if it is not extended to a very long time. Try
I
and
tell you, we've been doing it for 6 years.
okay.
Every single year, there is somebody filing return at 11:59 p.m.
True. I
I don't
remember
know
my
कहाँ पे थे भाई.
I remember my articleship days also. Many people used to get their tax audit done on the last day and used to request our principal ki sir please इस बार करा दो अगली बार से ध्यान में रखेंगे. So there are many people like this. So I think my subscribers don't want to fall into that category, and I'm glad they are wanting to know more and more about futures and options taxation. So I think without any further ado, let's start. What say?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Let's do this.
Perfect. So the first question that I had shortlisted from whatever questions were asked, that whether the gains or losses from futures and options trading, are they taxed as capital gains or profits and gains from business profession? So I'll just quickly update those who are not really aware about F&O taxation, or they are not 100% aware about the basic income tax rules. There are 5 heads of income. Okay, your income is going to be taxed under either or of these 5 heads of income. It could be either income from salary, it could be income from house property, it could be capital gains, it could be business profession, or it could be income from other sources. Okay, so one of the question was that would the futures and options gains or losses, will it be taken under the head of capital gains or under the head of PGBP, which is profits and gains from business profession? What are your thoughts, Vishwajit?
I'll give the answer first and then the explanation so
Sure.
people don't get confused, right? So, futures and options are text under income head, business and profession. There's no question about it, right?
Mhm.
Now, where does this confusion come from? The confusion comes from lot of people. I mean, Income Tax Act says if your intent was investing, wealth
Mhm.
creation, long term, right? Then treat your trading activity as investments, and hence it will be taxed under capital gains.
Got it.
And if you are doing trading as a business, right, where you full time devote your time to it, you invest resources into it, then treat it as a business profession income, right? It's as simple as
Got
that.
it.
So I think there's some ambiguity around treatment of delivery trading or deliveries, and also intraday, whether you can treat it as capital gains or business profession income. I think that kind of muddies up the whole water. But futures and options, 100% gets taxed under income head, business profession.
Got it. Got it. I think that was a very crisp and clear answer. So for those again who want to just have a quick recap, if you're talking about a
You
normal
already you already know I'm a computer engineer and not a chartered accountant.
but you're the founder of Quico. That's what makes you different from others. So just to wrap it up, if I'm talking about investing in shares and selling shares, so shares and futures and options, they are treated separately. If you're talking
Right,
about dealing in shares in stocks, that income or loss would be catered under the head capital gains. But if you're talking about futures and options, that doesn't get treated under capital gains. It gets taxed under the head of futures and options. And now that you said about chartered accountant and all that, then मेरे अंदर का CA जाग गया है. So one more quick thing is that there's a definition. If I'm not mistaken, अचानक CA final thing started as a flashback in my head. I guess there's a definition of capital asset, and that comes under. I'm not 100% sure, but मुझे ऐसे ही recall हो रहा है out of the blue. Section 2 subsection 14 ऐसे तब रटा मारा था कि 2 subsection 14 में आता है what is a capital asset. एंड
right,
कैपिटल एसेट की डेफिनेशन में फ्यूचर्स एंड ऑप्शंस कहीं बैठते नहीं है, एंड
right.
दैट इज आल्सो वन मोर रीजन व्हाई इट डजंट गेट टैक्स्ड अंडर द हेड कैपिटल गेन्स, बट इट गेट्स टैक्स्ड अंडर द हेad PGBP, which is profits and gains from business and profession, right? So
Absolutely.
I think he has answered it in a very crisp way. But then the moment we say that ठीक है चलो it will be taxed under business income, then immediate next question which pops up in our mind is there are two types of businesses, right? One is a normal business and one is like a speculative business. So speculative ka is like something, speculation ये word तो मैंने काफी बार मेरे चैनल पे भी बोला है. One is like hedging, one is like speculation. So speculation में mainly आप profit loss, एक स्पेकुलेशन में आप सिर्फ एक प्रॉफिट कमाने के हिसाब से आप कोई भी ट्रांजैक्शन में एंटर करते हो. So
Right.
whenever I'm talking about speculative business versus normal business, there is also one big confusion point about F&O. Where will it fit? Income from futures options, will it be treated as a normal business or will it be treated as a speculative business?
Right. So again, a straight answer, it gets treated as non-speculative business profession income. Like you said, right? Intraday, जहाँ पे आप
Correct.
delivery नहीं ले रहे हो,
Hmm.
essentially you are entering into the market to speculate whether
Correct.
something and it's something, the value of something will go up or down, right? So you are
Mhm.
not taking the delivery. So in that case, it's considered speculative business income because you are in the market to speculate. However, in
Correct.
case of futures and options, because you have to compulsorily take delivery of the contract, right? Or your losses will be right, जो भी contract का value है. So hence it's considered non-speculative business profession income.
Correct.
A lot of people get confused between intraday and F&O,
Mhm. Mhm.
and the treatment of it.
Absolutely. So just to again wrap it up, if it is income from shares, then that will get taxed under capital gains. If it is shares but intraday,
Right?
intraday ka shares hai, that will get taxed in the speculative business category.
Business income,
And
yes.
speculative, right? And if it is normal F&O, but not an intraday or उस kind में नहीं अगर, तो normal F&O के बारे में अगर बात कर रहे हैं, तो it will be more of normal business, not speculative business is what you say, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Wow, that was again a crisp and clear answer. Now that we have understood that okay, it will be treated as business income, it will be treated as a normal business income, not even a speculative business income. Then there is a concept known as presumptive taxation, right?
Right.
Wherein, just in case if few of my viewers don't know what is a presumptive taxation, let me just quickly simplify things for you. Our
Right.
government had said that there could be some businessmen who can't go into the nitty gritties of keeping books of accounts, and recording their incomes, recording their expenses, then calculating the final profitability. बहुत बड़ा झंझट लगता है उनको. So our government has made certain sections wherein they came up with an idea of presumptive taxation. Now, what is presumptive taxation? You will have to just disclose that, okay, this much is my turnover, and turnover ka some percentage
Right.
that will be deemed to be your profit. Okay, so just as an example, if presumptive taxation is 6%, and assume that your income is, assume that your sales is 100, because my maths is weak, that is why I'm going to take sales only as 100. Okay, so 100 into 6% was your presumptive tax rate. So 100 into 6%, your profit, your chargeable income will be treated as 6. Okay, and uske upar you will have to pay taxes. Am I right, Vishnuji?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect. So, if I go with the same thought process, then again going back to our original question, futures and options. Now that we have understood, it will go into the business profession category. We have also
Right.
understood that it is a normal business. Then the question comes up is that, can a taxpayer opt for presumptive taxation if he has a business income from F&O? And
Right.
if yes, then how do I calculate my turnover for futures and options in that case?
Right. No, I think you bring up very important point. So I've been building Quico for last 6 years. So I'll bring some of those anecdotes into the discussion. Right. So jokingly we call presumptive taxation scheme drive-through tax. जिनको
Okay.
hassle नहीं चाहिए, right? People who just wants to very quickly file their returns usually opt for presumptive taxation scheme is how we jokingly address to it. But it's a great scheme,
Mhm.
right? If I tell you out of 7 crore, close to 7 crore returns that got filed last year, about 3.65 crore were ITR ones, but at the
Mhm.
same time, about 1.25 crore returns were ITR fours, which is the form you file when you opt for presumptive taxation scheme.
Got it.
Now, coming back to your original question, you can absolutely opt for presumptive taxation scheme,
Okay.
even if you are doing trading, right? Like you already mentioned, Rachana, the basic condition is your turnover should not exceed certain threshold. In presumptive taxation scheme, that threshold for business income is 2 CR, for professional income it's 50 lakh, right? So as long as your turnover falls within that limit, you can absolutely opt for presumptive taxation scheme. The other requirement is you have to claim at least 6% of your turnover as your profits.
Mhm.
Now, India, we have a habit of reading between the lines. So mostly what people do is just report 6%.
Mhm.
That's not what the law says. The law says at least 6% you need to
Correct.
report, right? So if
Correct.
your actual profit is 10%, you should report ideally 10%. But the
Mhm.
general practice is people end up reporting 6% as their profit, right?
Correct.
Now, I think the hidden question there is, can F&O people realistically offer presumptive taxation scheme?
Yeah.
Because we know the funny business around how turnover gets calculated, right?
Mhm.
So unlike a regular business, in case of F&O, turnover is calculated a little differently. It's
Okay.
essentially called absolute turnover, right?
Mhm.
What that means is you don't you you don't net out your profits and losses. Essentially, along with all your sales value, you add all your profits and losses and the absolute values of it. So even if it's negative something, you kind of put the absolute value, and which is
Mhm.
where it's usually highly inflated. We sometimes get traders whose turnover F&O turnover runs into hundreds of crore, right?
Correct.
But when you look at the income, it's a very different reality, right? So I
True.
think that is where usually F&O people trading in F&O kind of feel the pinch. Okay, why that 2 crore ka limit?
Mhm.
But you can absolutely, if your turnover is less than 2 CR, you can absolutely opt for a presumptive taxation scheme. And in fact, it's a great scheme where you don't have to maintain your books of accounts like you just mentioned. So, especially small business owners, right? Mom and pop shops,
Mhm.
lawyers, chartered accountants, doctors, it's very popular
Yeah.
to opt for presumptive taxation scheme.
So, if I were to simplify this again for the viewers, let's take an example that I make 60 lakh rupees as a profit, okay, and 40 lakh rupees as a loss, okay. Generally, I don't take loss making examples for myself, but just as an example, okay, 60 lakh profit and 40 lakh loss. In that case, like Vishwajit said, you have to take a absolute figure. Okay, you remember your maths, good old days of maths, wherein we used to call it as a mod value.
Right.
Mod value is something wherein we ignore the minus sign. Okay, so 60 lakhs is profit and 40 lakhs is loss. So in that case, what will be my ultimate figure? That will not be 60 minus 40. It will be considered as 60 plus 40. So for the turnover calculation, it will be 60 lakhs plus 40 lakhs. So your turnover will be counted as 1 crores. Correct?
Right.
So
Right.
yes, you wanted to add
No,
something?
now that's why you are a chartered accountant. I'm an engineer, right? So you explain it so well. The one thing I would like to add is, in case of options, it even gets worse, right? So
Okay.
not just that you do the absolute values of profit and losses, but you also have to add sales proceeds to it, right?
Okay.
And which
Okay.
is why oftentimes it gets highly inflated, right? Because I mean, how do you add all of that and then your turnover invariably? Because we know in case of futures and options contract, usually
Yes.
the size of contracts are very big,
Very
right?
large. Very large.
Exactly.
Cool. So I think everyone has understood that how the definition of turnover is different in case of futures and options. And can we really go ahead with presumptive taxation? As we got the answer, answer is yes. But I think very important point Vishwajit pointed out is that uh, the presumptive taxation law says that you have to offer 6%. So people read only 6%. That's not 6%. It's at least 6%. So if you are ending up with more profits, so ideally you are expected to show a profit of higher than 6% also. I think with that, one more question comes up into my mind is that are there any set off or carry forward provisions for futures and options? So for example, this year I make a loss in futures and options, and assume in the next year I make profits. Okay, so can I tell the income tax department guys that okay, this year, so next year I'm saying that are ye wale saal to I'm making profit, but last year I had made losses. Can I set it off? Is there any carry set off is in the same year, and can I carry forward and set it off in the next year as well? Any provisions on that?
No, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the kind of open secrets of being tax efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, in order to save, right? क्या बोलेंगे? I have losses. Why spend so much money in filing ITR 3 and reporting it as business income? I'll just
Mm-hmm.
report my salary income and be done with it, right? In fact, you are missing a great tax saving opportunity. What you can
Correct.
do is, if you incurred losses, you can file ITR 3, report those losses, and what you can do is something called carry forward those losses, right? It's very, very easy. If you carry forward those losses, and let's say you had a bumper year like last year, a lot of people made gains. So in one of those years, you can set it off. For how many years you can carry forward? In case of futures and options, which is, remember we talked about it, it's a non-speculative income. You can carry it forward for 8 consecutive years, right? If it was speculative income like intraday or something, you can only carry it forward for 4 consecutive years. So you should absolutely carry it forward and set it off against any future gains that you may have.
So I think that's a very very important point. Whenever anyone makes losses in futures and options, the only thing that they're going to say is that isko वापस हाथ नहीं लगाना है. I'm not going to do futures and options ever in my life again. But then after 1 or 2 years, they might feel that raat gayi baat gayi category. That whatever happened at that time happened, but this time let me give it a shot. And now I have learned a lot through Rachana ma'am's lectures and YouTube videos and all that. And that confidence has again awakened in that person. And let's say after 2 years that person feels that I should be doing F&O trading. But then the problem is that if you have not filed your income tax return properly 2 years before, and if you have not carried forward your losses to the next years, then you might not be able to take the benefit of those losses. So many people believe that if they are in losses, no need to file income tax return. Okay, so why you have to file a return even if you are in profits or losses? Because abhi losses hue, okay, the best opportunity is that carry it forward, and if in future if you have profits, you can set it off against those years profits, right? And as he again very clearly pointed out, because it's a non-speculative business, 8 years ke liye it can be carried forward. But if it is for speculative one, then you can carry it
So
forward for 4
So
years.
another one of those anecdote dealing with so many customers.
Mhm.
So we get so many people who would say, "Sir, is sal I have profit, but last year I had losses. I did not file return. Can I file it now?"
Mm.
Right? So up until few years ago, you were able to file income tax return for 1 plus 2 consecutive assessment years. So three
Correct.
assessment years altogether.
Mhm.
That is now gone. Now you can only file your income tax return in one current assessment year. So
Correct.
if you come next year and you say, "Mere losses the previous year mein," that is done. You can't claim it,
Done.
boss. Yeah, gone.
So I think a very, very important point is what we discussed here right now. That even if you have losses, it's very important for you to file taxes, and very important you have to file these taxes in time. You have to file your returns in time, because even if it's a belated return, then you can end up in problems while if you were to carry forward your losses, right?
Right. I mean, you bring up very good point. So, in fact, actually, if you file belated return, you can't even carry forward your losses.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, if you are somebody, trading, then remember, I mean, this year the due date has been extended to 31st December. So, you have to compulsorily file before 31st December.
Correct.
Um,
So,
Otherwise, you won't be able to carry forward.
absolutely. So, just in case for those who did not understand this point, as he mentioned, 31st December is the last year for this financial year. Okay. Just in
Only.
case if some, only for this year, absolutely. So, just
Yes.
in case if someone says as a New Year resolution, now I will file my return on 1st of January. And if that person has incurred any losses, he will not be able to carry forward his losses. You have to file your income tax return before the due date if you were to
Yes.
if you were to carry forward your losses, right? So keep this
Absolutely.
these important dates in your mind as well. Vishwajit, if you can also tell us about your platform, Quico, how does it help people like me and many others who are into F&O trading?
No, absolutely. So the reason we built out Quaco is there are a lot of chartered accountants at Quaco, by the way, but we were bunch of engineers and did not know anything about Texas. And chartered accountants were taking a lot of money away from us. That's the story. No, I'm just kidding. So what we are trying to do here at Quaco is use technology to automate taxes for individuals.
Mhm.
Uh, I, I mean, now we are opening bank accounts online. We are trading online. So many of us are using discount brokerage platforms. A lot of us are investing in crypto, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
It has become very difficult to delegate it to someone, right?
Correct.
So what we want to do is build the best platform that individuals like you and I and our audience can use to do their taxes very easily. So there are two parts to taxes, right? There is tax planning, so things
Mhm.
you do during financial year, right? So what are the things that fall into tax planning? For example, understanding your P&L, right? If
Mhm.
you're trading and investing through multiple brokerage platforms, you can
Mhm.
easily import all that data. We have partnership with all brokerages, all major brokerages. We are continuously adding new brokerages, so you can import data from your Demat account and
Okay.
instantaneously visualize your P&L, right? The second
Nice.
thing you can do is new versus old regime, right? We talked about it. A lot of people are confused about it. So you can also easily determine whether you should opt between new and old regime. You can
Mhm.
also do tax savings through the platform. Advanced tax, right? Most
Yeah.
investors, traders don't pay advanced tax. That is one thing we've observed
Mm.
because it's so difficult to calculate it, right?
True.
So you can instantaneously see your advanced tax liability because remember, we read all your data from your Demat account and we can in real time calculate your advanced tax liability. So those
Mhm.
are all the things we help people do under tax planning. And then tax filing is what you do during assessment year. So you can come onto a platform, put in your Aadhaar OTP, and we will instantaneously pre-fill all your information from your income tax account, your salary, your bank accounts, your Demat accounts, your tax
Mhm.
credits, right? So
Mhm.
gone are the days of uploading Form 16 and uploading Form 26AS. You can
Mm.
simply using Aadhaar OTP pre-fill all your information, and we let you file your income tax return on the platform. So that's who we are.
Kya baat hai. Very nice. So, just in case if you want to check out their website, what I've done is that just for simplicity purpose, well, everyone knows my website, rachanaranade.com. So, what you can do is just scroll down till the end, and once you scroll down where we have all these last tabs wherein you can open accounts with various brokers. Similarly, we have done this for you all, where you can file your taxes with Quico. You can just click here, and this is where you can check out their entire website, wherein you can just go and try and play around what is there in the website, try and get familiar with it. It's actually a very very easy to use website, and I think there are multiple uh, feasible, I mean multiple options which are available. uh, Vishwajit, just correct me if I'm wrong. I think there is a DIY platform also
Yes.
on the website, wherein if a person, so for example, a person like me, I feel that I can file my taxes, should not be a problem. So if I were to do a DIY on the Quico platform, uh, is it free, or are there any charges for that?
Right. So if we work really hard to build the platform, we have families to feed. Remember, so some part of the product is free. Of course, if you trade through a single Demat account, you can
Okay.
import all your trades and
Mhm.
file income tax return completely for free on the
Okay.
platform, right?
Okay.
But when you leverage the capabilities that we have built, right? Integrations that we have built with a lot of brokerages, crypto exchanges, we have built integrations with banks, income tax department.
Mhm.
If you want to import from multiple platforms, then in
Got it.
that case, we will end up charging you, right? So you're
Okay.
right. I think you bring up a good point. So there are two ways to do taxes on Quaco. One is you do it yourself, and
Mhm.
the other one is you ask for help, right? So in that case, somebody like me, somebody from my team will come help you file your income tax return,
Mhm.
and it's usually we have hundreds of thousands of people doing it themselves,
Mhm.
right? But there's always somebody who has a particular kind of income situation. So I'll definitely encourage you to do it yourself. I think that's why we have built the platform. But just in case you need help, we are here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great. I think we are done with majority of our questions. Let me see if my viewers have any questions. There is a question by Mr. Ashwin, and Ashwin says, "Hi Rachna, where to download reports of dividend income, and when has Quico planned to tie up with ICICI Direct?"
Right. So we are actually already integrated into ICICI Direct. You
Mhm.
can go to the tax report tab and start your journey. We are
Okay.
working with ICICI Direct to build an integration, just like we've built it with Zerodha and other
Okay.
platforms, right? Where you can just by logging in, give us access to your report, your trading activity, we can read it and programmatically prepare it. So we are working on it. Stay tuned. Now, when it comes to dividend income, right? So dividend income is little tricky because your dividend income is split across all your different brokerages, right?
Mhm.
If your dividend income is less than 5,000, then maybe TDS is deducted, maybe it's not,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So usually we try to read it from your pre-filled JSON, but
Got
it
it.
will only be in your pre-filled JSON if TDS was deducted on it, right? So we'll
Mhm.
try to read it, but just in case if you think we have missed it because TDS was not deducted, you can also easily manually add it on the platform.
Got it. Got it. Perfect. Uh, Hemant Shah says, "Namaskar Rachna ji, Hemant from Coimbatore." Namaskar, Hemant ji. But no questions asked. Okay, one more question which I can see in the chat section is that how is Quico different from ClearTax? Siddesh Swami asks that question.
Right. No, I mean, we love the platform that they are building. I mean, what we have found out is a lot of chartered accountants really like the platform. It's
Hmm.
very similar to utility, right?
Yeah.
However,
Hmm.
what we do is we do a lot of hand holding, right? For example, instead of asking you to prepare an Excel and upload it onto the platform, we will directly go to Zerodha and bring all your trades, or we'll directly
Hmm.
go to IFL or any of our other partners, Angel, and fetch your trades programmatically, instantaneously calculate your P&L, right?
Correct.
Similarly, we have a very nice section called maximize deduction. So we'll look at your data and spot opportunities for you to save taxes, right?
Hmm.
So for example, if you have not claimed HRA, we would give you a
Oh,
recommendation, a nudge saying, hey, I mean, you can now claim Section 80 GGMA deduction for rent,
correct.
right? Or a lot of people last year donated to PM Cares Fund. So we'll nudge you those
Yeah.
kind of things. And that usually helps people save a lot of money. So we are built for individuals and users like you and I, rather than chartered accountants who also help a lot of customers, but they need a very different kind of product.
Correct. Correct. I am hopefully you'll be comfortable answering this question. I'm flashing it up on the screen as well. Varun Kumar asks, "How secure is Quico?" No offense meant. He's clearing it out. No offense meant. But all our
Right.
data might get breached and it might be misused. Can that be so?
Right. So I think there are multiple questions in there, right? So one question is that can our data be misused, right?
Mhm.
And the you when you go to Facebook, you share your personal information, photographs, right? You go to LinkedIn, you share about your work history. But when you are
Yeah,
coming to Quaco, you're almost sharing everything about yourself, right? Your
yeah,
financial kind of life, whether you
true,
bought a
true.
house or changed a job, or where are you working, how much you're making, what are you
Mm,
trading.
mm.
Also, we know whether you're making losses or gains, right?
Yeah,
But all that data is your ownership, right? You as a customer own that data. Quico
mm.
doesn't own that data. We are just custodian, right?
Got it,
We
got it.
use you to file your income tax return onto the platform. So you can easily go and delete your data, deactivate your account, right? And we remove your data from our systems. So we don't sell your data, right?
Yeah,
What we, however, do is use your data to improve products for you, right? So we may
correct.
see that there are so many customers coming from certain platform.
Mm,
So yesterday only we were looking at data where from a particular platform we were getting short sell transaction jahan pe sell date is before buy date, right? So you would
mm,
look for that kind of data where something might fail, and we would
mm.
fix things. We are continuously improving our products by looking at data in an analytical manner. In
Got it.
terms of security, we take it very seriously. We continuously we do audits. We have
Okay.
a great bug bounty program. We have a very healthy ecosystem of responsible hackers who come and test our websites, continuously give us feedback.
Mhm.
We very proactively act on it. Right. So how internet business is built, right? We integrate into banks, we integrate into large e-commerce platforms. So they all also ask for certain due diligence. So we do everything within our control to make sure that your data is safe and secure, and that's what we strive.
Perfect, perfect. Uh, this is not a question, but just a feedback. We get a feedback saying that very nice, Vishvajit, excellent information. Thank you so much. Okay, so just thought of sharing this quick feedback as well.
No,
One
thank
more
you very
question.
much. Thank you very much, Gatram.
Perfect. Uh, One more question from Advait. Vishwajit sir, when is Quico planning to integrate with Nirmal Bang?
Right. So we are continuously, integrating with multiple platforms. We are a very small team. So we are hiring talented engineers. So if some of you are engineers who would want to come at Quico and help us build Quico, please do that. Right. But we are trying to, there are 1600 brokers in India, remember that. So it's a very long list. What we are trying to do right now, at least get the top 20 brokers, in which way you will have almost 80% coverage. But
Mhm.
you can always go and upload an Excel template, just like you can do it in utility or any other platform.
Got it. Got it. Varun again says, sorry for asking that kind of question, but as soon as I opened my account with you, I was going through your profile and saw the details of PAN, Aadhaar, bank account. So had this doubt. But I'm glad, Varun, you asked this question, and I'm glad that Vishwajit also clarified it because we as normal individuals, we always have that fear factor in our mind that, Arey, what if this is not secure? Then what? But it's good that we get our doubts clarified, and if they are clarified, then it gives us a better comfort to transact on that platform. So in fact, I'm
Right.
happy that you did ask that question. Uh, Kya baat hai. In fact, we have one more question, one more feedback from Ravi ji. He's a very regular viewer on the channel. He says, "I'm a lawyer. Let me know how can I be of any help to you, Guruji." See, and Vishwajit. So Vishwajit, if you want any help, Ravi ji can surely help you from the legal side. If you need any help, just feel free to get to him.
Absolutely.
Right. Um, Okay. One question is from Sampada. Sampada says, I'm a housewife now doing trading in cash. I've never filed income tax returns in my life. Will there be any assistance provided by Quico?
No, absolutely. I mean, Quaco is for everyone. Like I said, remember, we are building the platform so that as many people as possible can do it themselves, right?
Mhm.
Because we feel when you take control of your taxes, see, nobody's going to save money for you, right?
Yeah,
You will have to fight hard for your hard earned money, right?
yeah,
So, which is why we want people to do it themselves, understand it, don't keep it as a black box, don't delegate it to someone, but you can always seek help. So if you need help, we are always there. somebody from my team will help you file your income tax return.
Perfect. Just one quick note for you, Sampada, that if your profits are within the taxable limit, okay,
Absolutely.
and
Below
if you
the
don't,
exemption,
yeah, below the basic exemption limit also, then in that
which is
case,
2.5 lakh.
yeah, if it is below 2.5 lakhs, then you don't need my help or Vishwajit's help or anyone's help, because you need not file your income tax return only, right? So it's that will be the case only if you are crossing the basic exemption ka threshold, right? But
Right.
I wish and I pray that you will go beyond 2.5 lakhs after you trade in equity and after you invest properly in equity. All right. One more question by Hemanji. Hemanji says, is Quicko having integration with Way to Wealth? Intraday trade in F&O, how it's dealt for taxation?
Right. Like I said, there are so many brokers. Every day we get hundreds of tweets asking us
Yeah.
to integrate. So we day and night we are working on it. I can assure you that. And if you think your broker should integrate with us, then give them also a shout, right?
Yeah.
Tweet to them, tell them that they should integrate. There's this platform who helps people investing in markets, and we would love to work on it.
True. Any thoughts on intraday trade in F&O, how it's dealt for taxation?
So, like we discussed, intraday is speculative business profession income, and F&O is non-speculative. One thing I would like to add to that is both are business profession income, so they are taxed at slab rate,
Mm-hmm.
and you all know what slab rates are, right? And you have option to opt between new regime and old regime, um, depending on what saves you more taxes. One thing I would like to put out though is in case of business profession income, you have to file a form called Form 10 IE. I know you're gonna hate me कि एक और form introduce कर दिया.
Yeah.
But you need to file that form to opt for new tax regime, and you can only switch it once. Do your homework and then decide what you want to do.
Perfect. We are running out of time, but maybe just one or two questions if time permits, Vishwajit. Is that okay? Another one
Absolutely.
or two questions? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll twist this question. Subhas says, can NRI trade in futures and options? So instead of this, I think I would want to ask is, can NRI, if NRIs want to file their taxes, can Quicko platform be used?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is a huge kind of confusion, right? In fact, NRI taxes are the simplest taxes because NRIs only have to report incomes they earn in India in their income tax return, right? If they want to take benefit of taxes they paid here, then when they file their US returns, they'll have to claim those benefits there, right?
Mhm.
Which is why usually NRIs file taxes in India first and then in US
Correct.
market,
Correct.
right? So absolutely, NRIs can come and file income tax returns on India. And in terms of can they trade in futures and options? I think that question I'll defer to somebody who is from broking community.
Sure, sure. To whatever limited knowledge I have, there are, I mean, you need to check what kind, there's something like NRE and NRO and lot
Right.
of restrictions there. And then you can check based on the type of NRE or NRO, whatever. Because I have also not done, even if I'm a chartered accountant, I've never practiced in international taxation. So I don't have
Right.
a very nice, expertise in that area. Just last quick question. Menon asks, if less than 2.5 lakhs, is it necessary to file nil return?
Right. So I think nil return and if income is less than 2.5 lakhs are two different things, right? So nil return you file when there is no income,
Yeah.
right? Um, uh, if your income is less than 2.5 lakh, which is the basic exemption, then there is no tax liability.
Correct.
We still recommend our customers to file income tax return because you will be asked for income tax return for applying for loan or visas and all those different things, credit cards. So it's always a good practice to file your income tax return, irrespective of what your income is.
True. Wow, I think the questions will keep on flowing, but we do have a time limit as well. But I think it was a great value addition for all the viewers of my channel. And thanks, Vishwajit, for taking out time to explain this topic, which I had never ever dealt on my channel, which was about taxation of F&O. So thanks a lot for joining in, Vishwajit. Any closing
Thank,
thoughts?
Thank you very much for having me here, and I'm a big fan, and I'm very happy that I was able to contribute in any other way than just giving a thumbs up. So thank you very much for having me here. And if there are other questions, you can always come on to quicko.com. There are social media channels. You can ask us questions everywhere, and we'll try to answer it.
Perfect, perfect. I'm getting a lot of thanks a lot for this session, and thanks a lot, Vishwajit. Thanks a lot for ma'am for such a valuable, informative video. Kya baat hai? Glad that we were able to add some knowledge. And till then, as usual, whatever I say, keep learning, keep revising. Take care. Jai Hind and bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.